Okay, so good day everyone. Welcome to lesson 9. Okay, lesson 9 of the grade 5 coding holiday program brought to you by Africa Team Geek together with the Department of Education and myself, your teacher, Mr. Sean Murugan. There's your important links that you require. The first one you should know by now, zora.ca.za. That's your link to your Zora blocks so that you can code. The second link is to all the videos that we have done. Okay, so today is lesson 9. There are already 8 videos there. If you have missed any, you can go back and you can look at them. Okay, so today's lesson is going to be elaborating on the past 2 lessons. So today we're going to learn about the nested if and the compound condition. Okay. Okay, so I'm just trying to see my Zora blocks, what's going on over here. Okay, I don't know if there's a data connectivity issue, but okay, while this is loading again, let me just close it and we'll start again. Okay, from yesterday's lesson that we were doing, we learned about the if statement. The if statement, we have the normal if statement block, and then we have the other block, which is the if statement together with the else. And we did quite a few examples. So while this, I have no idea why we're having this connectivity issue. But while we're going, let's take some questions. If you have any questions from yesterday, while it's loading again, and maybe we can speak about it. Let's talk to Jaden while we are waiting. Jaden?
Okay, so yesterday do we do like the smallest number and the biggest number?
Yes, yes, we did that. Yeah, I
Okay.
remember that one, Jaden. What it was quite confusing for most of you guys because it ended up being a long program because we checked if one number is bigger than the second number, and then we started putting a lot of messages. We started off saying, for example, okay, let's say which one is larger, and also let's say which one is smaller. And but if you break it down into small parts, then the program is not so difficult. Now it looked difficult because we added on lots of code, and then it ended up like it looking very long. But actually speaking, it wasn't that bad. Okay, thanks for the input, Jaden. Okay, guys, all of you other guys today, if you want to participate, raise your hand. I'd like to speak to all the other guys and girls who are not speaking. You still got quite a few lessons left, so you can participate. So today, I want to uh, start by showing you what's a nested if statement. Now, I'll always start by making this character small because it's quite big on the screen. I like making it a bit smaller. Okay, so if you see, okay, let's start with our when green flag ticked. Now, I want to explain to you what is a nested if. We already did it yesterday. I did it a few times yesterday just to break you into it. A nested if is an if statement, and if I take another if statement and put it in there like this, so it's like an if statement, and in the else, there's another if statement. That is what a nested if is. Now you think, but why you want to complicate things? What it means is, you know how this if statement works. If this first part is true, let me make this bigger. Okay, that's better. Yeah, how this if statement works is if the certain criteria that I put in here is true, then this part, the first part gets executed. And if this is false, the else part gets executed. Now, what if we have more than one criteria? What if you have 3 or 4 or 5 criteria, then what we can do, we can take another if statement and put it in here. And we can even put another if statement in here. And we can go on depending on how many options we have. So now I'm going to do a simple example with you to explain to you how this works. Now, let's take the movies. We all like to go movies, and now during this coronavirus time, we all are missing the movies. Maybe some of you all have managed to go to the movies. But when you go to the movies, let's say that we have a cinema, a movie theater that only has 2D movies and has 3D movies. Let's, for this example, say that this particular cinema does not have 4D. Now, I'm sure you guys all know what's 2D. 2D is the normal movie that you go and enjoy. 3D is the movie where you wear the glasses, and then you can, all the characters are more animated and you can see them better and so on. So basically, this is what I'm going to do. Let's make a variable. Let's make a variable called choice. Now, this variable is going to store the choice of movie that you want, whether it is 2D or it is 3D. So let's ask. Let's start by asking. Let's start by asking for you to choose a 2D or 3D movie. Okay, so I'll say, let's say enter your choice. Movie, 2D or enter your choice of movie, 2D or 3D. So remember, when you using the ask block, the answer block is also very important because the answer gets stored with it. Okay, so if I come over here and I go to my variables and I will say set choice to answer. So basically, when they ask the question, my whatever choice, whether I enter 2D or I enter 3D, is stored in choice. Now I want to use a simple if statement. Let's use the if else statement, and I want to check. Now you know there are two options here. But what if the person types in 4D? So in this example, I want to check if the person does not enter 2D and does not enter 3D, then I will tell them, for example, sorry, invalid choice. Please pick 2D or 3D. Okay, so let's go over here to operators and let's go pick our equal to operator. And I am going to check, let's go to variables. I'm going to check if my choice is equals to 2D. And if my choice is equal to 2D, let's put a message saying enjoy the 2D movie. Let's go to say, and I'll say enjoy the, let's use the variable. So let's go and use the join. I don't want to type in the enjoy the, I want to use your choice. So let's go to operators. Let's take join. Let's take two joins. I want to say, let's put it in here. I will say enjoy the, I will take my variable in there. Enjoy the 2D movie. Now the else part, now remember, if I finished off with the 2D, now what's left? The person could enter 3D or they can enter something else, which is not required for them to enter. So in this if statement, I will put another if else statement or an if else block like this. And then I will go put my equal to sign again. And now I will check with my variable. If my choice is equals to 3D, then I'll say enjoy the 3D movie. I'm just going to go and copy this since it's already done. Duplicate, and I'll say enjoy the, let me stop this. Enjoy the 3D movie. Now what will this be over here else? Remember, I've already catered for your 2D choice. I already catered for your 3D choice. So this else here would mean that you entered something else. You must have entered IMAX, or you must have entered 4D, or some other thing that this particular program is not catering for. So we can go and put a nice message saying, sorry, invalid. Sorry, invalid entry. Right. And then let's give them an instruction and say, either enter 2D, either enter 2D or so let's test this out and let's see if it's going to work now. Right, pick our green flag, enter your choice of movie, 2D or 3D. If I enter 2D, enjoy the 2D movie. Okay, if I enter 3D, it will say enjoy the 3D movie. Now let's enter 4D. Now you know some cinemas, they have a 4D. If I enter 4D, sorry, invalid entry, either enter 2D or 3D. Okay, now this is a simple example that we did that explains a nested if. And what is a nested if? It's basically this. It's an if inside an if, like this. Okay, now just to make you practice again, you know how we save program. So to save this, so we'll type in lesson. This is lesson 9 that we are at. And this is the first program I'm doing. So I'll put an _1. And I'll come to file. I'll say save to your computer. And then it's saved. Now you guys, if you have any question, or maybe you want to type in your feedback, if you understood what I did, please put in some feedback on the chat, or you can even ask now. Okay, I can see there's nobody asking questions at the moment. And I've told you that, yeah, please give some feedback. But those feedback will be tracked. And okay, let's talk to Noah. I can see Noah has his hand up. Noah, let's speak to you.
So hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Noah. Yes, I can hear you.
There is 2 ways of doing this, if I'm correct. This is one if you use the if-then statements and the if-else statements.
Yes, very good. Now you know that we can break this off and we can put separate if statements, like how I did yesterday. I can do instead of me using the else, I can say if choice is 2D, like this. Then I'll put a separate if statement, if choice is 3D. Okay, you are correct there, Noah. There's many ways to do this. Very good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Let's try another one. Now this program that I want to do, I want to introduce you to something called a compound condition. Now what a compound condition is, what if I want to check 2 criteria? For example, what if I want to check if you are a male and you are above 12 years old? What if I want to check if you are female and you like mathematics? What if I like to ask a question like, are you in grade 5 and you have a laptop? You can see there's 2 criteria that we are asking. So far, all the examples, we're checking one thing. Now there'll come a situation where you want to do a nice program, but you want to check 2 criteria. Now I want to use an example of a game. Now, all of us like playing games. Now, maybe we can use an example where I can ask you to enter your level and enter your score. And then we can make the program check for a certain level and a certain score and give you a message. For example, just say you entered level 1 and you got the score of 95. We can make the program check that if you're on level 1 and you got a score that is more than 79, if you got between 80 and 100, then we want to give you a message saying you are very good in playing this game. You're an expert gamer. Okay, so okay, let's go about it together. Let's try and do this program. It's called a compound condition. So the first thing I want to do is make two variables. Let's make a variable that will store your level. So I will type in level, and then let's make another variable to record your score. Now this is not for any particular game. You can try this for any game that you like. We're just going to talk about it as a game, certain game. Okay. So let's get started. Let's go to events. Let's pick the when green flag is clicked. Let's ask for you to enter the level and enter the score. So since that we're asking, we're going to use the ask. Let me put it over here, and let's get the set. So let's go and edit everything. So what are we going to ask? Let's ask for you to enter the game level. So I'll say enter the game level. Right, then we'll say set level to answer. Then we're going to ask for your score. So let's ask and say enter your score. Or if you want to change score to points or whatever. So I think score is quite understandable. And let's save that into the variable called score. So I'll say set score to answer. So now I ask for the game level, I stored the level. I ask for your score, I stored the score. Now I want to check if you are in level 1 and you got a score more than 79. So let's just pick a normal if statement. I just want you to learn this if statement. Now if I pick the if statement, now you remember this shape here, when you're picking operators, you only can pick shapes that can fit in over here. Now I want you to see, can you see there's options over here? There's options. Now what this does, see this one here, this can check two criteria, meaning this criteria and this criteria. Now let me show you how it's done. If I say if I'll put this in here. Can you see now I'm putting one into the other, and I will say let's go to a variable, and I will say if level is equals to 1. If level is equals to 1, and I want to see if your score is greater than 79. So I'll go take the greater than operator and put my variable in there. Score greater than 79. We'll assume that 100 means that you have passed the game. You have clocked the game. You have got every possible point. And 0 means like, okay, you didn't get any point. So greater than 79 is like you're getting an A, like a distinction now for this game. Okay, so if level is equals to 1 and score is greater than 79, let's put a message saying that you are an expert gamer. So I'll put a message here, say, and let's say you are an expert. You are an expert gamer. Now, just to make it fun, if anybody missed yesterday's lesson, I showed you that, you see, we have all these options that we can use, all these blocks. There are more that you can use. If you come down here to add extension, there are quite a few other options there that you can use. Right, music, pen. Now I want to use this one here, text to speech. Now as soon as I click that, can you see I've got this light green blocks that came up here, and I've got 3 blocks, extra blocks that I can use. So let's set the voice. Let's set the voice to let's set it to tenor. I think tenor is a male voice. Let's set the language to, what can we say? Let's pick something. Let's pick Russian. Let's see what happens. And I will say speak. Let's use the speak. Now remember the speak, whatever you type in here, you can play around this with this. Whatever you type in there, the character will say that. So let's say you are expert gamer. Let's try this out and let's see how it's gonna work. Okay, enter the game level. I'll enter level 1. Enter your score. Just say I achieved 85%, 85 score.
You are an expert gamer.
Okay. It said you are an expert gamer with a strong Russian accent. Okay, let's make this an Italian. Let's see how that sounds. Enter the game level. Let's say level 1. Enter your score. I received 89. You are an expert gamer.
You are an expert gamer.
Okay, that sounds cool. Okay, so basically, guys, all the stuff that I put in here, this is just extra things for you to play around. But I like you to really understand what's going on over here. Now, what does AND mean? AND means that this must be true and this must be true. For example, if I enter level 1 and I enter a score of 50, that means this is true, but this is false because 50 is not greater than 79. Then we won't get this message over here. But that is how AND works. Okay. Or let's change this now because, okay, since you understand this, I'm going to change this to make you understand now. What if, now you know games have many levels. Okay, so why don't we do this? Just say that, right, you don't have a very high score, but you've reached very high level. Now I'm going to take this out from here. Let's leave this in the bottom. I'm going to take this out from here and leave this in the bottom. I want to show you a different way. What if we say you're an expert gamer if you reached a level higher than 5? If you reached higher than level 5, it doesn't matter what score you have. If you have reached a level higher than 5, that means you are really good. And the other criteria we can use is, it doesn't matter which level you are, but if you can get above 90%, 90, if you can get above 90, that means you are really good. So we have 2 criteria, but you can pick either one. That's where now we can use the OR. Now the OR function, either one can be true. See this one that we use, the N. You must have level 1 and you must have greater than 79. Then only you are good. Now here we're giving 2 criteria. And the criteria I'm going to say again. If your level is higher than 5, so I will go to operators. Let's take the greater than sign. And I will say, let's go to a variable. If my level is greater than 5, that means I went to level 6 and 7 and I even went to level 10. That means I'm good. Then the OR part comes. Now OR can pick either one. Now just say I didn't reach a high level, but I'm very good in playing the game and maybe I didn't have time. So the other criteria could check if you get a score higher than 90. If you get 91, 92, 93, then you are very good. So I will go back to operators and I will say, if my, go to variable, if my score is bigger than 90. Now this will work differently, people. Now you will watch how, when I'm going to test this, you will watch what's going to happen. Now, for this example, what I'm going to do is, right, I'm going to change this if statement. Let me take this out. We don't need it now. We know what that is. I'm going to change this if statement. Let me leave this over here into an if else. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put everything from there into here, this into here. Now the reason I'm going to do that is I want an alternate. If I don't reach this criteria here, I want to put a message saying you need to practice more. That's why I use the if and the else. Okay, so let's put a message here saying you need to practice. Okay, now let's test this out. Okay, let's play. Enter the game level. So just say I enter level 1 and I enter a score. I got 50. You need more practice. You need to practice more. Okay, so basically I didn't reach any of the criteria. Okay, let's try again. Just say enter the game level. Just say I went to level 6. Okay, and my score, just say I got a very low score of 20. Now, according to our program, it doesn't matter if you got a low score, but if you reach level 6, that means you are good. So the message that I need to see is, let's see if it works. You are an expert gamer, which means, can you see? As long as one criteria is working, can you see it? There's 6 here, but my score was low, but it still said you're an expert gamer. Let's try one more option. Enter the game level. Just say I only entered level 2. Now level 2 is below our criteria for expert, but enter your score. If I have a score above 90, so if I have 92, you are an expert gamer. So what does that tell us about the or? The or means either one must be true. And if either one is true, then this will happen. Now I think I have a hand that's raised. Let's go to user. Let's try user. User, try sometimes. Okay. Hi user. Okay, I don't think it's working. Can we try Jaden? Hi Jaden.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Okay, sir. I've got a question for you.
Okay.
It says here you need to practice more for 2 seconds. So is it fine that you can practice for 30 minutes?
Oh, okay, I understand what you're asking. You see, Jaden, you know this 2 seconds. This 2 seconds
Yeah.
is for how long the message will be on the screen. It doesn't mean you need to practice more, and it's not like I'm telling you to practice for 2 seconds. This 2 seconds means how long the message will be on the screen. So watch what's going to happen here. If I change this to, let's make it 5 seconds. All it means is, you know when this message comes on the screen, Jaden? When this message comes on the screen, the message will be there for 5 seconds. So basically, like 2 seconds, sometimes 2 seconds is too quick. You didn't read it and the message disappears. But if I put 5 seconds, that's enough time for you to read the message. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, now if I run this program now, you need to practice more. Watch what's going to happen. If I enter level 1 and I got 10 points, that means, okay, nothing. Now watch here. When it says you need to practice more, see how long it's going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Then it disappears. Okay. Now let me show you the other message. Can you see that you are an expert gamer? The message is only going to show for 2 seconds. Let me show you how fast that one. Okay, enter the game level. If I enter level 7, and I enter 57 points. Now I already entered level 7. That means it's good. Now watch what's going to happen. Look at this. You are an expert gamer. Quick. The message was only there for 2 seconds. Now that is what the second is for. Okay. Now Now I think we have another question there from, okay, no more questions. Okay, so let me save this program. But I'll say lesson 9. This is my second program that I'm doing. So I'll say _2 and go to file, save to your computer. Right, there's my second program saved. Okay. Now I want to do something involving a bit of maths. Let's start a new program. Okay, I'll use the same sprite for now. Now, you know, when we started learning about operators, I told you that we can work out the sum. Now I want to do a game. I want to randomly generate two numbers, and it will ask you the question. It'll ask you, okay, what is, for example, what's 5 plus 10? And then you must give the answer. And if the answer is correct, it'll tell you correct. And if you give the wrong answer, it will tell you incorrect. And maybe it can even give you the correct answer. So basically, we want to try and make this program to ask you questions like a math game. And you can practice testing yourself on math. Now, it's only the 9th lesson, but we learned enough to make this program. Now, I'm not going to concentrate too much on the looks of it. You can go find a better sprite. You can go find a background that you like. For now, I'm going to leave everything standard because we're running out of time. I want to show you this quickly. So I'll go to variables. Now I want a variable to store the first number. So I'll call this num1. I want a variable to store the second number. I'll call this num2. Now this here is going to be testing you on addition. So I'm going to make a variable called sum. Now that will store the sum of the two numbers. Then I want to make one more variable. And this variable is going to be called your answer. Because I'm going to ask you for the answer. And I'm going to call it your answer. Okay, so let's start this program. But now remember, I'm not going to show all of this over here because sometimes I can't show sum and your answer because then you will know the answer. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now and I will take it out later on. And I'll show you why something must be invisible. Right, and those of you remember to make something appear and disappear, especially variables, you just basically tick and untick. Okay, so let's go to event. When green flag is clicked, I want to randomly generate. I don't want to ask because obviously if I ask you for the numbers, then you give me numbers that you already know, easy numbers. I'll say 2 plus 2 and you tell me it's 4. So we're going to randomly generate numbers. So I will say set. Let's say set num1 2, and I'm going to go to operators and go to the random. For now, I'm just going to okay. Please mute your mic. Somebody has the mic open. Okay, please mute your mic. Okay, so we have set num1 2. For now, I will say pick random from 1 to 10. Okay, as you become used to numbers from 1 to 10, then let's try numbers from 1 to 20. And as you are becoming better at maths, you can increase the numbers. So now we'll just leave it as 1 to 10 just to start off, like an entry level. Then I will take another set and I will randomly generate a second number. And I will say again, pick random from 1 to 10. Now I'm going to work out the sum in the computer. And how we work out the sum with the computer. I will say set sum. I will go to operators and pick up the plus sign. I'll put the plus sign in there. I want to add num1 and num2. I want to add num1. Okay, let me put it in here, num1, and I want to add num2. Now, guys, if you're not understanding this stuff, if I'm going, you think I'm going too fast, I've done this in the previous lesson. The pick random I used before. Basically, it randomly picks a number for you, like a lotto number. You don't have to go and type in the value. Okay, so what's happening here? The computer or this character is going to generate two random numbers and find the sum. Now I'm going to ask you for the answer, and I'm going to compare your answer with the computer's answer. Do you understand? So let's go to ask. Now I want to ask this properly. I want to ask, what is, just say this number was 5. I want to ask you, what is 5 plus 7, for example? So I'm going to put in here, join. But I'm going to put quite a few joins here. Now watch what I'm going to say. What is, then I want to put that first number. So I'll put this join in here. Now joins, you can put many joins. Join inside a join, and you can put how many, depends how many things you want to display. So I want to say, what is num1 plus num2? So I think 4 things are quite easy. It's quite enough for me. So I'll say, what is, I'll say num1. Here I'll put the plus sign. Plus num2. But I'm going to put this in here. So it's going to ask this complicated question here. Then I'm going to store the answer. I'm going to say set. Now this I'm going to save it as your answer. This is the answer you're going to give us. Set answer to, and remember this blue variable that will store your answer. Now I want to have an if statement. I want to compare. I want to compare your answer. Let me put the variable here. I want to compare your answer with the computer's solution. And what is the computer solution? There's it over here. I want to compare that two and see who is correct. So let's quickly put an if statement with an equal to operator. And I'll say, if your answer is equals to sum, then I will say you are correct. Well done. Let's say you are correct. And if you have the incorrect answer, in other words, the else part, I'll say you are incorrect. Let's give them the right answer, so then they will actually learn it. So I will say the correct answer is, and let's use a join. Let's say the correct answer is, which will be the correct answer? Sum. This is the one that the computer worked out. Can you see? The computer worked out this answer. Put in sum. Okay, so let's now, I'm going to run this guys like this. What is 10 plus 4? Now you can see here, we can copy the answer now, because why? The variable is showing. Now if I'm a cheat now, I will just go and enter 14, and it will tell me you are correct. Well done. Now the reason why I got it right is because the answer was showing here. Now if I go to my variables, I will untick sum. So basically, you won't be able to see that variable. You understand? Now that will be better. Let's test this thing. What is 1 plus 5? Okay, now you can see your answer. Let's also, because this is showing the previous one. And if I enter here, what is 1 plus 5? And my answer is 6. It will tell me. It changes. But let's not show this one as well. So it's confusing everybody. Let's go and untick this one here as well. Now this is much better. Let's run. Right, what is 10 plus 9? Let's enter the incorrect answer. Let's say 10 plus 9 is 11. Let's see the message that comes out. You are incorrect. Sorry. Right. The correct answer is 19. Now, let's go and put the correct answer for a little longer, because in case somebody is actually learning it, 2 seconds is too quick. So made that 5 seconds. So let's try this. Now look how amazing this is. We keep getting random questions because we use the random. What is 4 plus 5? If I say 9, you are correct. Well done. Let's try again. We got 6 and 7. What is 6 plus 7? Let's put the wrong answer. Let's say the answer is 20. You are incorrect. Sorry. The correct answer is 13. Can you see how long this answer is still there? For 5 seconds. We can even make it 10 seconds. Okay, and now we've made a program that will test you on maths, on sum. Now, if you want to go and just say this is too easy for you, you want to try bigger numbers because now you are in grade 5. You've changed this random from 1 to 20 or 1 to 30 or however good you are. And just say we don't want to do, we want to try multiplication maybe. If you're going to try multiplication, we will change this to product. We'll put the multiplication sign. And we can now try that one. Let me save this over here. Sorry, let me just check. Download. Okay, this is the third one that we're doing. So we'll come in here. Let's go back to English and change the settings here. Yeah. Okay, this is my third lesson. Okay, so any of you all have any questions? It's a good time to ask it. We are almost at the end of today's lesson. Okay, any questions? No questions. Okay, guys, as I told you, please send through that information that is required for certificates. And as I told you, our sessions are being monitored. So those learners who are actually getting involved in the lessons and asking questions, maybe via questions and even through the chat, which I will be looking at. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I know today maybe we didn't spend a lot of time playing around with the effects and making it look good, but we actually learned a lot today. You've learned how to make a program that will test you. It's a testing program. So if you have your little brother or little sister that you are helping with the addition, you can make this program and teach them, and they will, for hours, they can be learning with this program. Okay, simple program using random. We worked with the computer. The first three blocks, the first 3 steps is being done by the computer. So it randomly generates 2 numbers, and it works out the sum. The second part now is asking you for your input, and then it checks if your answer is correct or incorrect. Okay. Okay, so if you like to practice this, please go and view this video, which will be up later in the afternoon. And you have the link, Africa Teen Geeks channel on YouTube, and this will be there. Okay, thank you so much. Take care.